another video. So as mentioned last night, I was going to decide to go ahead and go live again tonight. And because Tweety asked me about doing a Belgian ale and had wanted me to do one the other night, I told her I would actually do this one. And this is the Gulden Draak 9000. And so this is a ale that comes from Belgium. And for the longest time, this was actually one of my favorite beers to actually have. Cheers, Jennifer. And cheers, Tweety. Belgian night, that's right. Just mentioned you there. And going back, one of the earlier Belgian ales I actually had, this was one that really got me into enjoying the Belgian beers. 10.7% ABV. This is a Belgian quad, so something a little bit bigger than your doubles or your triples. This one is actually a 25.4 ounce bottle as well, so got a pretty good size one here to take a look at. And it comes from, and I always got to be careful how I say, because I hate to always screw up, but getting the language down is sometimes a hard thing. But a Brouwerij van Steenberg, I believe, or it might be Brouwerij van Steenberg, but an old brewery out of Belgium. In fact, this brewery itself, let me take a look here. They go back to 1784, and they actually have other beers as part of their family. You may have seen, obviously, of the Gulden Draak 9000. They have the base Gulden Draak. They had the Gulden Draak Smoke, the Gulden Draak Imperial Stout, Gulden Draak Brewmaster Reserve, which I actually did on a video that's about 2.5, 3 months ago with Dean from Dean's Beer Reviews. We actually had the Reserve, a fantastic beer as well. Then they also have the Pirate Ale and a Pirate Triple Hop Ale, which I have one of those. I need to do a review on that too, so that'll be another Belgian beer upcoming. You also get the Monk's Flemish Sour Ale that they handle from Monk's Cafe, Monk's Grand Cru, the Augustin Blonde, the Baptist Wood Ale, the Gar, a few other ones here, Lootbach, the Bornholm Triple, and the Bornholm Double. And then they also put out a sampler pack of some of the beers. So out of Belgium, which is definitely one of the places on the bucket list to go visit at some point here. Have not been over there yet, and definitely want to go. This one actually comes out in 12-ounce bottles, 25.4-ounce bottles, which I have here. 1.5 liter Magnum, or you can get a 30-liter keg. So that's how they actually offer it. And if you've had this one before, let me know what you think of it. Put some comments here, of course, in the comment section. I'm going to go ahead and get this baby open, bring it back to the other cam here. This one is actually corked, so I've got to take all this stuff off here to pop the cork out of it. And there's always something nice about a nice Belgian ale. It's just got a nice body usually, and the flavors are just so much on point that I find as far as what I like to enjoy in a beer. Yeah, it's fancy. So you're going to get it out of there. And then the color on it is a nice amber color, which you can actually see here. Let's get to the right camera. Let me switch the other one, because I got two different cameras, and I think this other one might be a better one here. So get that there. Now, usually with this one, you do have a little bit of the fermentation in the bottle. Now, all of it's not obviously into the glass, but you will get some times where you'll get particles down towards the bottom as you pour it out. You can leave them in the bottle, or you can put them in there. Doesn't hurt you any. I pretty much say it's like extra yeast or whatever. If you were getting stuff like that at GNC, you would pay for it. So might as well enjoy it for free with the beer. Came out about a 2-finger head. Looking at about a finger head now. Just a nice golden orange color. The nice aroma you get that nice quality of the yeast aroma coming right out of the glass, which is what you pick up in these type of styles. In the background, you get a nice sweetness. Almost has a little bit of a syrupy type note. smells just as good as I actually remembered before. And hey, Erie, what's going on? Cheers. Good to see you. Taste-wise, that's just good. That's good stuff right there for me. You get one of the things you'll get in some of these Belgian ales that may throw you off a little bit is you get a nice feel of the carbonation. You do get a carbonation in here, but it's kind of got that champagne type feel, kind of like how you have some of your brut IPAs, a little bit of that bubbly action taking place, which you come to expect with this type of style. But you have a little bit of that there, which adds some nice bubble action to the tongue as you're holding it in the mouth. Goes out on the back end rather smooth. Pretty much just slides right down the throat when you drink it. Get a little bit of a floral type feel in the aroma. You get a little bit of a floral type feel in the taste. Hey, what's happening, Alan? Cheers, my friend. What's going on, brother? Duration. You have a great duration of the flavor. Has a lasting feel. Sticks nicely in the cheek area. Has a little bit of stickiness. A little bit of a feel towards kind of a honey sweetness in there. You can really suck the cheeks and really pull the honey out, because when you do put it in the mouth, it does leave a little bit of that behind. So the more you actually suck the cheeks, the more you pull that flavor out. Definitely one you want to kick back, take your time with, and not really chug through it, but really enjoy it. This is one of the ones as well, if I was having a cigar, I could actually sit back nicely and enjoy this over a period of time. A little bit of like a orange peel feel that's already into the beer, which again, if you got great Belgian beer, you don't have to fruit it. Like, you know, you have these over here in America, you know, they try to say, well, Blue Moon's Belgian. That was on a Belgian style, but you don't have to fruit good beer. And with this one, you don't have to have that. It's already got kind of an orange flavor already coming out inside of it. At 10.7% ABV, you're not really picking up a lot of the alcohol taste. It's very well hidden, so you're not getting a lot of booziness coming through. Do you feel the carbonation though? I kind of like the carbonation in the throat as well. You get a little bit of that nice feel. The more you drink it, you get a little bit more of an astringency type factor that makes you kind of want to, again, suck in the cheeks, smack the lips a little bit. But it is such a well put together beer. These monks came through nicely. Hey, cheers, Jennifer. It's just damn good. A little bit of a coriander type feel in there as well. Them damn monks. And I always dug the artwork. You got the little dragon artwork on the bottle, which has always been pretty cool. This classic. Funny thing about it being a quad, like, nobody really knows full. I mean, people say a double, people say a triple, people say a quad. I don't know if there's really a set definition of what is what, but obviously the higher you go up, or from the single to the double to the triple to quad, the more alcohol you're dealing with. Well, some of them, like you take a couple Chimets and one's a triple or one's a quad, and they can almost be very, very similar. It's a very thin line. Jennifer is celebrating her sister's birthday. Well, happy birthday to your sister. Hey, Lumpy Dog, cheers, my friend. Swinging by, hit the like button. Can't say cheers. Well, cheers to you, my friend. I appreciate you swinging by for a second. Actually kicking back with a little Gulden Draak tonight. So, one little Belgian style. And Alan said happy birthday to your sister as well, Jennifer. I almost feel in the nose a little bit of a lemon type feel in there too. So 8% is 8% good for you. Well, if you were saying 8%, you're going to be more. If you're looking at Belgium, you're looking more like around the single, double type area. But yeah, you would if you drink this one at 10.7, you wouldn't even feel it being 10.7. So if you're not used to that type of larger ABV, it will definitely hit you. And some people have been hit with this beer. This is such a smooth drinker. You really do find the odd beers on jelly. Let me talk. Oh yeah, well this was one of my, like I said, and I put in the description. This was one of my first Belgian beers I really fell in love with, and for the longest time, this was my favorite beer. Obviously, as your universe expands, you find other things that kind of compete against the stuff you thought you knew, but it's still up there as a top-notch beer. I think the last time I saw it on Beer Advocate, I think it might have been like around 92 or 93. If you look on Untapped, it might have a decent score. If you look on Rate Beer, it probably has a decent score as well. I mean, they've been doing it for a long time. Like I mentioned earlier, the brewery themselves have been around since 1784. So you think about that. They've been doing beer for a nice long time. Some nice recipes. See if it makes any note on anything here. Looking on the website, they talk about the complex taste that it does have with it, because it does have a lot of stuff happening for sure. They talk about the fruity and kind of the spicy type scent, the smooth and malty sweet. Yeah, I was going to say, you do get a nice feel of the malts that actually do come through in this one. If you're a person that definitely prefers your beers more maltier than hoppier, then this is kind of a style that you'll probably like, some of the Belgian ales. And something like this, you're definitely getting hit nicely with that malt sweetness. I agree, Alan. That's what I would say. Yeah, it's Alan says if you can't taste the 10% and it's a good one, that's a dangerous drink. Yeah, it is. It is one that can sneak up on you. I've had away from this, some of the people I've shared with before that kind of were looking to try something different, for instance, but they were like kind of used to some of the macros or maltier type stuff like the lagers. Chimay was one I would actually turn them on, and a lot of people like that one that I've shared that with, but they didn't realize it was like 8 or 9%, and they couldn't taste it coming through. So a couple in, they start feeling like, hey, something going on here. So yeah, it's that's why you got to put ABVs on these beers so people know, so they don't get too loopy. Yeah, so Tweety definitely agree with Alan for sure about the dangerous aspect. But that orange you get on here is kind of like, again, it's like that orange peel, maybe like an orange zest, you can say, which I do like in this one. I can see up here, maybe you can see some of that alcohol legs. Yeah. Can't see through to the other side. It's got a nice haziness, so to speak. More of an old school haziness, not like the Haze Bros haziness. It is a nice one. It's definitely better than what I'm going to be drinking tomorrow night on the Malt Liquor Show. So, although that'll be all malt forward stuff too. But yeah, definitely one of my favorites. This is one of the higher ones for me. Overall, I usually give this one. I used to give it like a 5 out of 5. That's how much I really like this one. I think for me now, it's more of a 4.75 out of 5. I think it just delivers nicely, but there's so many other ones out there. But it's definitely still one of my upper echelon type brews. I would say try it. If you like Belgian ales, you will not be disappointed with the Golden Draak 9000. But speaking of everybody else, what is everybody else actually drinking tonight? If you are drinking tonight on this wonderful hump day, you may not be drinking. You may be relaxing. I put out the video earlier today about Cincinnati, #1 beer drinking city, which was an interesting report. If you didn't get to see that video, it's just about a 2 to 3 minute video, but the stats were compiled by smartasset.com, who usually does financial things. So they did it last year as well. Cincinnati was #4, but they looked at a whole bunch of different things about basically who had access to beer, how much beer was being made, how many per 100,000 people, and this and that, and all these different research things. And Cincinnati came out as the best beer drinking city because you can basically get, I guess, the most amount of beer here. And like that, the bottle is actually empty now. So, like I said, it's a dangerous beer because you will easily go through this one. Having a glass of red wine, very nice. Apothic Crush. So what do you think about that one, Tweety? I had one of the guys ask me about maybe doing wine on the channel, but I haven't picked up any yet. I gotta remember to pick up eggnog tomorrow too. What's your favorite style of wine, Tweety? What up, Eric? What's going on, my friend? Just ran down a bottle of Golden Draak 9000. Kind of did the review here and early going of the video. Now I'm kicking back and just doing a little bit of a chat. Think it's good. I saved some. I saw some sparkling red wine I want to try next. So you're more of a wine drinker then, right? On the backside of Death Tar from Revolution. Well, you used a Budweiser to open it up tonight. We got to play some more Modern Warfare at some point here, Eric. And my favorite wine style thus far is still Shiraz, I think. Noblo Sauvignon Blanc is my favorite wine. Nice. Haven't seen that one before. And Eric, don't forget to get your malt liquor for tomorrow night, my friend. .8% BBA goodness. I like hearing that. Like beer, but carbs are too much. He says, yes, we do. Yeah, for tomorrow. Yeah, carbs are obviously a concern when you're drinking beer. More so probably with carbs than, of course, than with wine or with spirits. But, of course, you now have some of the lower carb options that are coming out. Lagunitas does a really good job with their day timer, which I think is 3 carbs a can, if that. Because I think you can do a 6-pack and it'd be under 20 carbs, 20 grams of carbs. So, really nice. It actually tastes like an IPA if you're an IPA fan. And there's some other ones that are coming out doing it now as well. So, you do have some low carb options out there if you just want to sit there and enjoy. I did see finally a place that did have the Heineken 0%. It was at my Kroger here, but I didn't pick it up yet. I like to try to just get one of them rather than buying a 6-pack, but I just want to check that one out and taste it and see how that tastes and some of the other 0% beers. Love to do spiked sparkling waters. Like the seltzers. New Belgium Day Blazer, a damn good session. Oh yeah, Day Blazer is a good one. And what's the one? Sierra Nevada has one too. They have the um, is it BDF or something? Sierra Nevada has. That's like a lower one too, I think. Let me see here. Yeah, the BFD Sierra Nevada has it's a golden ale. I thought that one might be a little bit easygoing. I don't know what the carbs are on it though, but it's only 4.8% ABV. Yeah, Heineken 0% non-alcoholic. They're running a lot of commercials for it previously. Like when a guy's sitting in a meeting and he starts to drink and his bosses look over to him and he shows him his 0%. Yeah, so they have that, and that's for a person that likes the taste of beer like myself. Like there's days when I'm having a hamburger or something at work and they'd be like, "Oh, I wish I had a beer to go with it." You get one of those 0% beers and have it with your hamburger or whatever. You're not drinking. Hey, what's up, Jeremy? Cheers, my friend. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, just going live. Just finishing. Well, not finishing totally up on the show, but just finished pouring this one, Golden Drop 9000, the Belgian ale for So Tweety tonight. And then, yeah, Eric, he likes the old Duels Amber Ale. Didn't think I like it, but would actually drink that regularly. And Jeremy says cheers to So Tweety and Eric. And Eric says what up to Jeremy. Yeah, Eric's been a big fan of the old Duels Amber Ale. Yeah, but that's the thing. Is like I'm at the point I like the taste of beer, so I like different beers to just sit back and kick and relax. So it doesn't always have to be to get a buzz or anything like that. Not much myself. Just kind of kicking back here. Um, kind of did a little bit of a beer review earlier, as I mentioned, and so Hump Day got the Tennessee UC basketball game on right now. It was close earlier, but UC seems like they're going to knock off Tennessee, which would be a big win for them. And outside of that, nothing too much. We got our malt liquor show tomorrow night that will be live on for that one. That should be interesting. If there's anything, if you never saw the malt liquor show we did the first time on Beer Flow, I'm going to tell you it was high entertainment at its finest. So I can only tell you that tomorrow has to go the same way, especially since Shannon's breaking out the Mad Dog 2020 grape. So you're going to want to see Shannon do the Mad Dog on the show. Should be pure entertainment. So you might have to revisit that one. Revisit which one, Eric? Oh, I did pick up the other day. I didn't do an unboxing on it or sharing, but I did pick up the Budweiser Black Lager finally because I did want to taste that one. Our Kroger had it for $7.99 for a 4-pack of them, so I went ahead and got that the other day. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what it tastes like. I mean, the Copper Lager, was it the Copper they did with Jim Beam before? I thought was okay, so I'm thinking this one might be all right. Eric said he drank 2 Ice Out Heads in the other one, and he said he was effed up. Yeah, you were. Your PSA was of epic proportions. It was a great PSA at the end there. Revisit all the beers, right? Hashtag revisit them all. See, so many beers in so little time. I'm kind of pumped up, Jeremy. We got the. I didn't realize we were doing the bowl games on Alan's show. The first bowl games are Friday. So we'll start seeing how the bowls start going. They're not the great bowls, of course, but we will have some college football back on TV here in the next couple of days. That was a great show last night on Alan's Football Talk. We need to download some more tracks off of MU for background music here. How was everyone's hump day today at work? Just now over the halfway point through the week. 2 more days to go, unless you're off early because of the holidays. My wife asked me earlier, like, what I want for Christmas. Like, I still don't even know if I want anything really for Christmas. It's kind of weird. I got to the point, it's kind of like, if I want something, I'll just go get it, right? So, got to figure out what to get her for something. I like those pressure moments of being the weekend before Christmas to go out there like a madman. Why is it so quiet in here? Jeremy's going to Blake's house for the annual Christmas music party. Got to jam and drink it all. Nice. When are you doing that over at Blake's? Is that this weekend, like Saturday? You guys should shoot some video while you're doing the jam out session. If I ever get a chance to come down to Arkansas, definitely gonna let you guys know. Because for work, Arkansas is part of the territory I represent. Oh wow, North Carolina is 6-4 in basketball this year. They are having a bad season to start out. So, Jeremy, you drinking anything tonight? Drinking some of that salted caramel Crown Royal? I should pick that up. I've seen it. I just didn't pick it up when I was there last time. Saturday night, tons of great musicians there. Try the video as much as I can. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you had something where you can stream it, like, or something from your phone or whatever, just like set it up there. I think I told you guys. I don't know if I told you before, not Jeremy or Blake or any guys. I know I've shared with other people, but if you get that MobCam app, you can just download that on your phone. And you can actually stream a video right to your YouTube channel. Even if you're under 1,000 subscribers, it still works. So I like to see you guys jam out there. It's got a little bit now of a ginger type feel in there too, which I didn't mention earlier. I'll try not to drink during the week, only drinking on the weekends. Started gaining some weight, so I had to cut back for a little bit to lose it. Hey, I understand that. So, well, I'll usually only drink like maybe a beer a night. Although this one was basically 2 beers. The one I did last night, it was so good I got a second one of that. That was that Braxton Labs tangerine beer. So yeah, I was actually able to start lifting a little bit in the gym this past weekend, so with my wrist and everything, so I was able to start doing that, and I was going to get back on the cycle now on the schedule to hit that a little bit more. Try to start shedding again, get these pounds off. I'd rather lift weights more than anything. Freaking cardio sucks. You ever watch people run, jog? They never look happy when they're jogging out there. Never. Not the ones that are serious joggers, not like the social joggers who are there like telling a little story to each other or whatever, but the serious joggers, oh my gosh. They look like they're in pain most of the time. What's up, Gilbert? Cheers, my man. So I think earlier, like, your Packers are like, what, a game away from being into the playoffs now? Or maybe they're in it now. I thought it was like 11 wins or something. Yeah, I hurt my shoulder. Haven't been able to lift weights for a month or so. Yeah, and that's the funny, when you can't lift, you lose that strength so quickly too. When I started lifting this weekend, it was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, obviously I can't force myself because of the wrist right now, but just where I was even at, the muscles from the chest and the arms and the shoulders, I was feeling it. And I'm like, I should not be feeling it on the weight that I'm on right now. But it does take time. Yeah. And a good thing with the lifting of the weights, people say, well, you burn more if you do the cardio. When you burn the cardio is like right there at that moment, right? So you're kind of doing it at a certain time. When you're lifting weights, because of the strength and everything you're putting on, it'll burn over more of a longer period and over different times. So a lot of people that just go straight cardio and don't lift miss that aspect of it. I definitely prefer to rather lift and do cardio, though, any day of the week. So, Gilbert, what are you drinking on tonight? What's up, D'Angelo? Cheers, my friend. What are you drinking on, my friend, as well? Just kind of sitting here kicking it now. Did a little bit of a beer review earlier on with the Golden Draak 9000. A very good Belgian ale. I know Gilbert's had this probably many a time. I think we're in, but we kicked out the Bears, so even better, yeah. You've been taking out on the Bears a little bit lately, more so than even the Lions, but I guess the Lions weren't as much a consideration as the Bears were, of course. And I think in that division, the Vikings still have a shot, if I'm correct, from the stuff I've seen. I keep seeing people get upset about the Cowboys, how bad they're playing. Eating and drinking. You would think if you're a Cowboys fan, you'd be kind of used to it by now. I mean, those are like, since the early 2000s, big choke artists for the talent they get on that team. Jerry Jones can buy them, but they can't get them the wins they need. My favorite beer so far: Earthquake High Gravity, 10%. You catch a buzz very easily. We got to get you up on some more stuff though, D'Angelo. This right now is the Golden Draak. It's a Belgian ale, a Belgian quad. This one was 10.7 ABV. Very smooth, pretty much like drinking candy. And I'm gonna say, probably better taste profile than that Earthquake. Not that there's anything wrong with it. We'll be drinking malt liquor tomorrow night, though, on the show. So you'll have to tune in when we do the malt liquor stuff. What's up, Didi? What's up, Rajay? I was drinking 30 gallons. I was drinking 30 gallons a year home brewing. Had to stop for 6 months and got back to my regular weight of 170. I got up to 185. Kind of worried to start brewing again. Play golf a lot. Well, it's all about balance and moderation, right? So I was home brewing for a bit too, and when you got it sitting around the house, you can easily fall into it. I started just giving it out to some of the people I work with because I didn't want to have it all in the house with me on some of the different batches I was doing. But yeah, you gotta find a way to offset it. Golf is a good way to get out. We were just talking earlier, like lifting weights. I used to be more lifting weights and going to the gym. When I was home brewing, I was lifting weights at least 3 to 4 times a week and doing cardio as well. So whatever you're taking in, you got to offset it by taking something off for sure. Gil was drinking a Beyond the Pale Pink Fuzz dry hop wheat ale with grapefruit. All right. Beyond the Pale Pink Fuzz. That's interesting with the dry hops on the wheat ale. I wonder how do you like that one? How's it coming through for you? It's kind of interesting because you don't see a lot of wheat ales dry hopped. Oh, D'Angelo, you have a 40 of Mickey's. if you watch us tomorrow night, you should crack open your Mickey's out tomorrow night when we do the malt liquor show. And you can have the Mickeys on there and tell us about what you're experiencing. Who wrote, wait, too much red wine from dinner? That's all right. I knew what you meant. It was good to go. Vikings have to win the last week against us. The boys are to dust them. I do think it's been kind of funny, though, this last week or so, being here in Cincinnati and them talking about the Patriots spying on the Bengals. Like, of all the teams in the league to spy on, why would you spy on the Bengals? It's just terrible. It's, they're saying it was a mistake. Or like, I would think it'd have to be a mistake if you're spying on the Bengals. But right now, people are like talking about Joe Burrow, and I'm like, I hope they don't draft Joe Burrow because I hate to see them kill another quarterback career here. I think that they should get Chase Young, who could be a defensive player and make more of a difference than what they would do to Joe Burrow. The beer I'm drinking is solid. I mentioned earlier, a lot of people that watch the channel know that Belgian ales are my favorite style, but this was one of my favorite beers from way back in the day. And then after a point, I kind of I kind of retired off the list because you like it so much. But then I had other beers I kind of compared to. But this one was actually one my personal thing is like a 4.75 out of 5. It's a nice feel of the beer. If you like Belgian styles, you know what to look for, and you like those flavors that come through from the Belgian ales. This is like definitely a winner for sure. Damn tasty ale, getting a banana and citra. Oh, nice. This one, as it warms up, a little bit more of a clove feel. I'm getting a little bit more of a clove feel. Actually, kind of like a dabble, and a little bit of a banana too, which isn't uncommon for the Belgian ales. Hey, what's happening, John? Cheers. Founders Imperial Stout. Actually, I don't do anything with Founders based on the things that have happened with them over the last year and a half. Before that point, I used to be a Founders fan, and I would try their different beers. Let me see. I don't know if I had the Imperial Stout back then. I had the Breakfast Stout I always liked, and I liked their... they used to have one called Dark Penance. Used to be one of my favorite ones they used to have, but I have not, I don't think, done... Oh, you know what? I did do the Imperial Stout before, years ago. It looks like I'm looking at my Untapped right now. That was back in 2015 was when the last time I actually had that one. And I rated it pretty decent. It didn't knock my socks off or anything like that, but it was a pretty good beer. People are talking about their vanilla KBS, but it's like, I'm not supporting Founders, so I won't be tasting that one. But with so many breweries out there right now, sorry guys, I'm getting a little tangled up here. With so many beers out there right now, it's not like I'm missing them either. Thanks to all the store today, but didn't pull a trigger. Yeah, I mean, if you get it, I mean, you'll be disappointed, and I'm gonna get all into the whole Founders type stuff as well. I had a couple videos here on the channel and stuff too. I mean, people, try what you want to try and stuff. It's just they still have some things happening there, but it's hard to knock them for not making decent beer. I just want to see them clean up their brewery a little bit more after what happened and see what takes place there. But what are you drinking on tonight, John? Anything you got in front of you right now you're tasting? And speaking of Founders, are you in the Michigan area? Yeah, if you on my channel here, if you actually look at I guess you can search by the videos, like Founders videos. I did a thing about the story about some of the stuff they've done, but there's a lot of stuff online about Founders. But it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but like I said, I don't want to get too much into. We spent I think we at one point over 3 or 4 weeks, every time we talked about something, founders kept coming up. But yeah, they had a little bit of issues there. Hey, what's happening, Craig? Cheers, my friend. Big love from the UK. What's going on over there? Well, now you're on Thursday, almost through the work week. Nope, DMV. I had a rice IPA by Dirty Bull Brewing Company from Durham. Very interesting, refreshing. I haven't heard of the rice IPA from Dirty. I haven't heard of Dirty Bull Brewing either. Thing is, if you get a beer out of North Carolina, chances are it's going to be a solid beer because they do so well down there on what they're doing in their brewing scene, especially in the Asheville area. You just got to love all the breweries that are popping up right now. Just so many good beer choices that are out there. So many different things to experience. We're basically under 3 months away from our big Cincy Beer Fest in the spring, which will be the first weekend of March. And on that one, we have over 500 beers that people can sample. It's like over 200 something breweries that'll be at that one. They actually take out the Duke Convention Center here in Cincinnati, and it's just like mayhem. You actually have to know where you want to go and what you want to drink, because you will miss so many good things if you don't have a game plan. Tonight, the mean oak barrel stout at maybe a Guinness. Oh, very nice. You know, I've got the new Guinness with the bullet. I haven't unveiled those yet. I might break those out this weekend because I do want to see what that tastes like. They were done with the bullet bourbon that came out this year, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that one. The Dominion Oak Barrel, that sounds interesting as well. See if I can see that on my Untapped here. So that's from is that from Fordham and Dominion out of Dover, Delaware? John, does that sound right? I saw that come up here on the Untapped. Fordham and Dominion Brewing and their Oak Barrel Stout. Hey, King Boo, what's going on? Can't wait till Friday going to try something new. What do you got in store for Friday? Anything you're thinking about to get, or you already got some stuff? You know, tomorrow night, Thursday night, we're going to be doing the malt liquor show, our second malt liquor show on the Beer Flow show. So that should be pretty interesting. It's 5.5, not the 6. All right, let me take a look here. All right, yeah, so that's the one I see here. They're out of Dover, Delaware. Dominion Oak Barrel Stout raises the bar for American styles. They use smoked and peated malts to create an intricate malt foundation. Willamette and Cascade hops balance the malt character, and their method of dry hopping with vanilla beans and oak pushes the depth of our stout's flavor spectrum even further. Sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, you have to chime in to let us know what you think about that one when you actually try it. I would definitely give that one a go for sure. Have to get up that way for number one brews in the country, right? So the story I posted earlier this morning, it talked about Cincinnati being the number one spot for beer drinkers, and I was talking to some other people about it too. So it was actually a report done analytically looking at the most breweries per 100,000 people, the price of the beer on average, the number of bars. It looked at a lot of analytical data, and then it came up with Cincinnati was number one. Last year on the list, we were number 4. So the beer quality here is great, don't get me wrong, but it's just basically saying if you're a beer drinker, this is the city you want to be in because you have so much access to beer. So it didn't get into like rating us like versus the beers out of Portland or Seattle or anything along those lines. But, you know, Eric is here in the chat. He's been here. Todd isn't on here tonight, but Todd's been here. Joe's been here from the Beer Patrol. And they'll tell you there's some great beers that are around this area for sure. It's a great time to be a beer drinker and a great time to be a beer drinker in Cincinnati. And we get distribution from all over the country in different spots. We have Jungle Gyms here which is considered by some like the top five store to buy beer in the country. So they're bringing in stuff from all over the place, so we're able to get access there as well. I've had it before; it's a bit sweet for me, but occasionally I'll pick up the 6 pack. Nothing wrong with that. Well, I was going to say, if with it being like that and the oak stout and everything, the malts are going to definitely, with the vanilla bean, make it a little bit more sweeter. The thing you have to worry about those kind of beers is when you let them sit, that they don't get too overly sweet. Like some will get too overly sweet and you don't want to finish them. But if they're done right, that sweetness should hopefully stay at the same level and you can really enjoy it. And it's not something where it's going to be bad as it warms. It should get better as it actually warms. I know this one's getting better. I am so ready for the weekend, and then I'm actually just off Christmas and the day before Christmas, and then there'll be a whole new year where I get all new PTO days, so I can do more stuff, take off. But anybody off like next week? Anybody got big plans? Anybody got to travel this weekend for the holiday? Got to get out there and drive or fly anywhere? If so, hopefully the weather's cooperative for you. I think the Northeast today is getting hit with some of the weather up there. So, here's a question. Since Christmas is next week and we're a week away, what is your favorite Christmas movie? What's the Christmas movie you like to enjoy for Christmas? Does anyone know a true red ale? I find them hard to come by. A lot of ambers, but they're not red. Ass Clown did a 10%, a small batch years ago. It was incredible. I haven't seen anything since. If you get Great Lakes Brewing, Dee, they make a great Imperial red ale. It's their Nosferatu. That one is really good. Oh, the Foghorn Barley Wine is a good one. That is a good one. I do remember that one there. That was actually pretty solid. Gilbert got 4 more weeks than 8 days off. Wow. So your week, you're going to be taking off time after even the first of the year when you take off time. So Tweety, favorite is 4 Christmases. There you go. For a Christmas story. A Christmas story is always solid. It's all about the Red Ryder BB gun. That's when they run like 24 hours here on TNT or TBS or one of them. It's a good one. I mean, it's one of the ones I actually like. My wife won't let me watch too long. I sit there and I'll start saying the lines to the movie and everything like that. And she's like, "Why do you watch it if you know all the lines?" I'm like, "Because they're good lines. I like saying them. They're good." Nobody said Die Hard. That's always a controversial one. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Hey, Angel, cheers, welcome. It's been too long. What's going on? Christmas Vacation, another great Christmas movie. Christmas Vacation is always solid. Lakers versus Clippers for your Christmas movie? Is that on Christmas Day? If it is on Christmas Day, I will watch that game. It's a Wonderful Life, classic. Classic movie. Favorite part of It's a Wonderful Life is when the old guy loses the money and George is asking him what's going on. And he's like, "What did you do with it? Where did you have it?" It's like, someone's going to jail and it's not going to be me. Oh, that is a good movie. Got it on Blu-ray. Nice. Yeah, the scene with the soap is pretty funny in that one too. He rats out his friend who had nothing to do with the whole thing. Nobody said Elf either. Elf is usually a pretty popular Christmas movie. Me caught up on the holidays. Busy. I bet. Yeah, running around back and forth. I got to go out this weekend and do stuff, so it'll be a little crazy. Deer. It's so funny you actually said Deer Hunter though, John, because I haven't seen Deer Hunter for probably 25 years, 30 years or so. So I had actually just DVR'd it when it was on HBO a few weeks ago, and I'm going to rewatch it again. So right now it's sitting on my DVR just because I want to go back and watch that movie. It's another classic. Has anybody else watched The Irishman yet, by the way? Curious what you guys thought of it if you did. A Christmas movie I watched years ago was Jingle All the Way. That's the one with was that Sinbad and Tim Allen in that movie, I think? No, it was Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie. Tim Allen was the Santa Claus. Well, actually, the Santa Claus wasn't a bad one either. But Christmas Vacation is always solid. I mean, that's Christmas right there. Got everything you want. You got the family. You get the family that shows up that you're not even happy they're family. You got all the crazy hijinks. And you get the squirrel in a tree. That's hilarious. March of the Wooden Soldiers. Then after Christmas, it'll be 2020 the following week. 2020. Anybody going to see the new Star Wars movie that comes out this weekend? I know some of my friends are getting hyped up to go see that. Never been much of a Star Wars person myself, but can appreciate the passion. Can appreciate people getting pumped up to see it. Nope, not on the Star Wars. As a kid, I used to walk my older brother downtown to one of the old 1920 theaters to see A Christmas Story. Oh, that's pretty cool. See, that's why you got an attachment to it then, I bet, as well. Yeah. Cutie. Yeah, I think they're doing the voting and stuff now and everything, so I don't know. I think it's going to be all theatrics because the Senate's not going to do anything anyway. So it'll just be a mark on the record. But I don't know. There's interesting pieces on both sides around that thing. So do you need to have seen the new Star Wars to see it? I don't think you may. I think now they're doing individual pieces that have different storylines. This one is like the Rise of Skywalker, but obviously if you've seen the other ones, it might build into it a little bit more, that you can actually understand what's happening. Kitty said he is impeached. So I was watching it earlier and watching the different arguments and stuff, but I didn't watch them all the way through the vote and everything. The non-George Lucas Star Wars are not very good, I've heard. Yeah, I mean, when I grew up, like one of the first ones I went to was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw was Empire Strikes Back, and I thought that was pretty cool. But it didn't like win me over like it did a lot of other people. I'd never seen Star Wars the first one. Later on, after seeing Empire Strikes Back, I went back later and saw Star Wars like on VHS from Blockbuster or whatever. And it was good, but I was always more of a Star Trek person than Star Wars, so it didn't really. I'm more of a hard science, and that's more fantasy. Um, then I watched Return of the Jedi. It was like, Return of the Jedi is okay, but it wasn't great. Then my wife, she was in Star Wars, and she got to go back and see when the new movie came out, and it was the one with Jar Jar Binks, and I was like, why am I here? Why am I watching this again? And kind of fell out of from there, and never really got back into it and stuff. The only one that's really caught my interest lately has been that one, The Mandalorian, that they've been showing on Disney Plus. Looks like a really good like sci-fi type western, but I don't feel like I'm ever going to really be fully invested in the Star Wars. I just don't. I don't see it. Rajay 2020. I'm not that much of a narcissist to want to be anywhere in office at all. Vote came through. Okay, the House voted to impeach him, not the Senate. Yeah, so the House voted for that, and then the Senate would be where the trial and stuff is. That doesn't mean he's out of office though, Kitty. Just in case you have your hopes up. Yeah, so it'll be because I'm actually in Kentucky where we got Mitch McConnell and stuff. So now to go there and they'll go through, and they're not going to have enough votes to actually take him out of office. But once you're impeached, you're impeached. So like let's say like Bill Cosby, like Bill Clinton, he'll have that mark on his record as being impeached, but he'll still be in office. The question will be kind of what happens in 2020 when he runs again now, right? So, and as much as how that would affect things, but then how it would affect other people if like some of the seats were lost by some of the Republicans to the Democrats. And I don't know, can you impeach again if something were to happen? I don't know. I don't know what you would do there. So I was through when the Ewoks showed up. Well, back in the day, so many people liked the Ewoks, but I hear you there. Oh, Gilbert, I give zero support to any government. Right. And it's funny, it's because I myself am actually an independent, but I was reading a piece and I shared it like on my Facebook page, but it talked about money and politics and how essentially when everything was set up, it was something that the founders were pretty much against when you look at a lot of their stuff. And it changed over the years with other people coming to office. But really, money shouldn't be involved in politics anyway. People should be able to run, and you shouldn't have to have the people voting for them have to support them by giving contributions either, because then they become tainted there too. So, but it's all a big mess. I was pretty young when Clinton, he got impeached but not removed. Yeah. So Bill Clinton was impeached, but he was not removed from office because the Senate has to have you removed if you were found through their trial process, and there wasn't enough to do that in the Senate. Do a Trump beer critique: Russian hops, collusion, barley, and another taste of going down on a porn star for $140K. That's pretty funny. Well, the thing is, they do have some breweries have done like some Trump type beers, like poking fun at some of this stuff, but doing a double special of a Trump impeachment and an Epstein didn't hang himself type video. So, yeah, my interest will be tomorrow to see what kind of reaction everything happens, especially most of the time. Presidents don't have as much influence as people think they do over like financial markets and stuff, but I'm kind of interested to see how the financial market responds tomorrow. What's up, Dad? Cheers, my friend. How you doing this evening? Yikes, right? So yeah, you just came in the back end of that stuff. So, but what are you drinking tonight, my friend? And Dad's barbecue beer and more in the house. So good to see you. Just kind of kicking back. Just finished one of the Golden Draak 9000s, nice Belgian ale for So Tweety, and now into the chat portion of the live stream. And thank you all for definitely watching while I'm thinking about it. I'm like right now about 3,050 hours of watch time, so I have to get to 4,000 to finish everything out that YouTube has, so they will because I used to be monetized, they would re-monetize me under the new system, which would be nice. Eggnog. There you go. I'm actually tomorrow going to pick up the Evan Williams eggnog because Friday I'm going to jump on, I think, Alex the Beer Master's channel. They're doing eggnog Friday night over there at 8 o'clock Eastern. So I'm going to jump over there and have some Evan Williams eggnog. I've never had it. I've seen it the last couple years. I've had some friends that have had it and said they really liked it. So we'll see how we do. I haven't had eggnog since 20, 25 years or so, maybe. It's been a while. I'm in the home stretch, right? Yeah, I'm trying to get to the home stretch, and which I would, like I said, I enjoy. If I didn't know what I know now, I would have done live streams from the beginning because I enjoyed the live streams. I enjoyed talking to everybody on the spur of the moment type thing. Again, for me, it just kind of reminds me of back when I was a DJ in college on the radio. I like the interaction. I like having the fun doing that kind of things and having the conversation. So I said doing more live streams and getting to know all you guys has been awesome. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying yourself along the ride as well. Talking shows. What do you think of the Terror series? So the first season of the Terror, I didn't like it as much. I kind of fell off after 2 or 3 episodes. The second season, I was hooked on the Japanese concentration camp. I watched that all the way through. That was one of my favorite shows this year. Probably 2 or 3. My favorite show of the year this year was Watchmen. That was my favorite show. The Terror would definitely be up there. Mayans MC was actually up there. I thought they had a great season this season. I still watch The Walking Dead. I don't know why. It's kind of like the candy bar mentality, or you eat 9, you get the 10th free. I'm kind of hooked into it. But I would say it's one of my top ones. It's kind of like I watch it now with the wife. It's kind of like a social activity. I do want to go back and finish watching The Boys. That is one I want to finish. As far as like miniseries, that When They See Us on Netflix was awesome. That was my probably favorite miniseries this year. Yellowstone is one of my favorite ones to actually watch. I gotta actually go back and finish the second season now because I haven't watched that yet. But the Terror, the second one, and the thing about the Terror that really gripped me on this season was George Takei was in it. Now, if you know who George Takei is the guy that plays Sulu on Star Trek, the original Star Trek, and he does a lot of acting and all kind of stuff. But when he was a kid, he actually, being of Japanese American descent now, he was put into the intermittent camps. And for him to take on a role where it kind of put him back into it, it's kind of like you were curious to see how that would play out with him, because it had to be so much of a flashback on things that he saw and did, but just great acting all the way through. I got hit by Apocalypse 2. Apocalypse. Yeah. So it sucked. I mean, I was in America, in the States, you have to have like, I don't know, $100 before they first start paying you out on YouTube, on AdSense. And I was like at $85. Granted, it's not a ton of money and everything, but it was kind of like you felt like you were accomplishing something. And so now I have to wait to get back up to get the rest because they won't pay you out until you hit that threshold. I was actually being courted by some of the MCNs at the time, which would have been helpful. And I did get on with one MCN for a little bit of time, and they were actually sending me some money when I was with them a few months. It would automatically just put into your PayPal account. But they also got hit, and they couldn't keep you on if you were no longer at that threshold. So once I got to 1,000, like I told people, then it'd be just like mostly live streams because I need to get the watch time. And with live streams, I guess you guys tell me, he's like, I feel like everybody feels like entertained when I do live streams, so that's why I do them more. Dang, I drink it every year at Christmas time. I love it. I'm talking about the eggnog, and I like the first and the second. I couldn't finish it. So you were opposite of me, Dee Dee. So you like the first one of the Terror, but the second one you struggle. See, the second one, I like the second one. Now, maybe I didn't give the first one long enough time. So that might have been it as well. Maybe I'll go back and finish watching it because I saw like the first one through the first 3 or 4 episodes. That's the good thing with DVR on cable. They save all your shows, so you can always go back and see the early seasons. Now on Netflix, I was getting into Black Mirror, but I haven't gotten a chance to go back and watch that yet. Everybody tells me how good Black Mirror is, how much they love that show as well. I was into the Marvel shows on Netflix. Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and even the other one, Iron Fist, but obviously they got all canceled because of Disney and a deal that took place. The Punisher, that was another good one. But I did hear they may actually be trying to bring them to the movies for Daredevil, and the Punisher might actually use the same people they used on Netflix, which would be great because the guy that played Daredevil was solid. The guy that played the Punisher, who used to be Shane on Walking Dead, was really good in that role. So I guess people being eaten by a man bear is funny. Well, you know what? During like the 3rd or 4th episode, we kind of guessed, me and my wife, that it was a bear that was taking place, but I never got to see what it actually was. So it's funny that it ends up being like a man bear. It's funny how that works out. I guess their writing wasn't as slick as they thought it was going to be. Yeah, I saw today the guy Herman Boone. He was the if you ever saw the Remember the Titans movie, he was the coach that Denzel Washington played. He actually died today. I mean, he was older though, but that's a great movie. Remember the Titans. I never understand how Denzel never got nominated for that role because that was a phenomenal role. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like Iron Fist. I mean, Iron Fist didn't bother me. I even saw some people were upset because you know of him doing the kung fu rather than Asian person. Like, well, if you know the comics, you know the whole story behind it. But I don't know. I don't know why people didn't like it as much. You know what it could have been? By the time Iron Fist came out, you already been broken down by Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage, and that just didn't come up to that same level. And with Iron Fist, it had to be almost like a little bit more of a story behind the character, because the thing is, he crashes as a kid there, but by the time he comes back reacclimated to the rest of the world, he's still got a little bit of that kid naivety in his mind, so he's not ready to fully socialize, in my opinion, and get back involved with people where you would think on the level he would be. So everything he thinks is a little bit more of a childish type thing rather than where it should be for his age. And I think that may have irked some people and how it was, but that's how the character would be. He wouldn't know how to operate in the real world until he was taught. So but they got like 3 more Marvel movies I think coming out next year. I know I did a reaction for Black Widow, which I am looking forward to that because that's been something I've wanted to see a movie with her background for a long time, and she's a pretty cool character. And then they've got, I think maybe next year's Fantastic Four might be out at some point. To have them out for potential crossing over, and then I think Doctor Strange is the next year though. Danny Rand, Asian in comics. Shang-Chi is Asian. I thought in the comics Danny Rand wasn't in the comics. If that's the case, then that does suck then. Let me take a look here. So I'm looking at online here. I never read the Iron Fist. I just thought he was in the comics as well, from what other people had said. Son of Wendell Rand. Just going through this stuff here. Hmm. It doesn't really say on the information I was looking at, but I always thought he wasn't. I thought that was what kind of made him stand out differently or whatever. And why there was like animosity toward him. Well, I guess, maybe I was getting it wrong. Yeah, he's not Asian. Right, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I thought you said he was Asian. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's white. That's what was throwing me off there. Like, no, I think he's not Asian. Yeah. But there were people complaining about, like, when it came out, like, an Asian playing him, and it was kind of like, I don't believe that's how the comic actually goes with him, so. Which would make sense for the animosity. You still got Iron Fist #1? Hopefully you got that baby, like, in a plastic cellophane wrapper or whatever. It might be worth something. Then again, it's Iron Fist, and it's not like Superman or Batman or whatever. I was watching one of my guilty pleasures. I watch American Pickers, and they actually came across someone that had one of the first Spider-Man, I think, and one of the Superman ones, and the Spider-Man ended up being worth 35 to 50,000. They estimated that in the condition it was in. And I was like, man. I thought about all the comics I threw away as a kid that I wish I had now. Just like the old playing cards, the old Topps cards, the rookie cards you had that are definitely worth something now. That it's like, oh, I wish I would have held on to those. And you just, as a kid, you just weren't as aware all the time. Well, that's good then, yeah. I always enjoy comics as a nice little getaway. I mean, if I had more room, I'd probably put up a few more people on my wall here if I could. Wolverine is one of my favorite characters. For the longest, he was my favorite superhero character out of them all. Later on, I got a little bit more into Batman as well. As a kid, Iron Man was what I always read too. Um, Thor was pretty big as a kid. So obviously, like the Avengers or something, I was always pumped when they came out with a movie for those guys. The Hulk was another one that I was big into. First Silver Surfer appearance. Oh wow, #48. Nice. Yeah, I wish I would have kept the comics I had from back in the day. What was the other one? I think it was the West Coast Avengers. I had some of their stuff back in the day when they came out. Yeah, it looks like the way that Black Widow is being set up, it looks like it might be going back into talking about like the Russian Avengers, which would be really interesting. Huge collection. Yeah, well, you got a huge collection. That's probably a nice little investment you got there too. Yeah, make sure you take good care of them babies. Keep them all wrapped, and I would definitely look to get some of the early stuff appraised so you're aware if you haven't done it already. There's people that pay some big money out there for some of the comics. Hulk 188, first Wolverine. So Didi, what's your favorite Marvel character then? Who's your favorite Marvel superhero? Gilbert Wolverine is Canadian son. Yeah, him and Sabretooth. My son will sell for a pair of sneakers. Well, they must be some high price Air Jordans or something. They got to be a good pair of sneakers if he's willing to sell them. Wolverine. Oh, cool. Wolverine was your favorite as well. All right. Yeah, Wolverine was always just so solid. It was something about it. I don't know, for me, like the not taking shit attitude that he had, and just no matter whoever it was, he was gonna stand up for himself and take him on if he had. It was just he's an empowering type character that I think a lot of people can relate to. Plus he had a little bit of a fancy for the booze at times. You can see throwing down some beers or whiskey with Wolverine. He wasn't one of the like corny characters. Like some characters are kind of like Spider-Man, just like a goofball until he's Spider-Man, or even like Batman in the DC universes. Now they've made Batman kind of cool with the new Bruce Waynes and stuff they did, but at one point it was kind of like he wasn't as cool, but he was rich. Iron Man, Tony Stark was always a cool character because he had the money and stuff too. He was in a way, Iron Man is in a way the Marvel Batman when you think about it. Got first Sabretooth appearance in Iron Fist issue. Nice. Hey, what's up, Throttle? Cheers, my friend. Just got done finishing a Belgian Gulden Draak 9000. Kind of just kicking it here and chatting right now before I sign off here in a bit. But what are you drinking tonight, Throttle? No elevator music? Thank God. Oh, it'll come up for you, my friend. You just summoned it now. You're the only one that thinks it's elevator music. Everybody else finds it relaxing. You just gotta let yourself go, Throttle. Let yourself go. Are you back home or are you on the road working again, by the way? And Throttle has some good old whiskey videos out there as well. Favorite Marvel character, not Spider-Man, right? You just never had, when he wasn't Spider-Man, he didn't have anything desirable where you say that's a cool superhero, really. Home, add into the Throttle Cave. Nice. So if you guys want to learn about some whiskey or see some whiskey type videos, make sure you check out Whiskey Throttle up there in Canada as well. Tons of whiskey that he talks about and does. And I don't know if you've still got the new stuff up there yet taking place, or I know you've been working a lot, but a lot of old videos you have up there too, so people can definitely check those out on some of the whiskeys you've sampled over the time. And Throttle says hello to Eric Gilbert. I still need to get a nice whiskey tasting glass. I got rocks glasses for drinking, but I need some nice tasting one. Gilbert, you should send Rod and I some refined full beers. I like that idea, Throttle. There you go. I still need to pick up actually a Thomas Hardy beer because I know Gilbert had mentioned the Thomas Hardy ones a few times, and we do have them here. I just haven't picked it up. New content, yes, right. But you've been working and you've been traveling and stuff for work, so definitely understand that. But you have a lot of other good videos out there that people can still find out about whiskey and check you out. And I need to check out more of your videos because I'm trying to find out more about whiskey myself. You would think I would know more about bourbon since I'm in the bourbon state, but I just know it goes down rather easily when I drink it. I don't really get into breaking it down as much. I leave that to Throttle and Swami on his channel. But before whiskey, you have beer, right? Great little brewery in Santa, Ontario. Yeah, I need to get back up to Canada at some point to visit again. I would drink before you guys get them. Yeah, we got a plan where we're going to go next year for vacation, although we probably won't be Canada at that point because it'll be the summer and the wife likes to go to the islands or somewhere, so I'm trying to think where we haven't been yet, maybe like Cayman Island or something next year. Start drinking some Innocent Gun aged in ex-bourbon barrels. Well, you know I have the Jameson that I have down, the Innocent Gun I have now. I said Jameson, but they were done in Irish barrels. Let me see which one I have. I ended up picking more of them. God, I got a lot of beer in my cellar right now. In this, I've got the Kindred Spirits, and that's from Innocent Gun, and that was actually a stout done in Irish whiskey barrels. Nice Cuban and a bourbon lazy Sunday. There you go. I wouldn't mind another Cuban cigar. I had a couple when I was in Jamaica earlier this year. Which you guys can get Cuban cigars, I think, in Canada, but in the U.S., obviously, because of the whole BS still embargo act, which nobody really knows what it is anymore now, except the old people that won't let us get Cuban stuff. I can't remember which Cuban cigars I had when I was in Jamaica, but they were actually pretty smooth. I should at some point go out and do some more brewery videos. I haven't done a brewery video in a while, and those are always fun. I did find out for one of my places earlier, because they actually have a raffle, so you don't have to worry about standing in line, that if you want to get the Bourbon County, I did get the Bourbon County Wheat Wine, the base edition, and their 2-year reserve that I won. I got to go pick those up this week. And the 2-year reserve that I got, I forgot who they used for it. Let me take a look here if I can see it. Come on, phone. Very nice exclusive from Ronabane Aged XL Barrel. Oh, very nice. Have you had it yet, or you just have it? You haven't tried it yet. I could always like when it says exclusive. Like everybody doesn't have this. I'm trying to see which 2-year reserves that I got. We've been a slurry brewery in Minnesota. They have an amazing decked out brewery. No, I haven't been to any breweries in Minnesota. Minnesota would be a good state to go to drink. Last time I was in Minnesota, it was only Minneapolis and St. Paul. I was up there for work, and we did visit some different spots, but no breweries I got a chance to actually see when I was up there. I think that was actually before I even lost the Beer Channel last time I was up there. So, and Gilbert said, "Stop showing off, Daniel." Oh, I tried it, and it was given 2 samples from a very generous friend. Oh, very nice. He tells Gilbert, "Stop being a hater." It's like I can't find the one email I'm looking for here. I was wanting to get that Cafe Deola from Bourbon County and that Moncherie, but I didn't win those two. Which that's like $30 to keep in the pocket. Anyway, gotta pick those up. So once I get those beers, I'll do a review on those as well. By the University of Minnesota. Exclusive West Cork cast strength. Nice. Show off. I've got some friends up in the Minnesota area. I'll have to ask them about that one. There's just so many good breweries that are all around right now that you can actually go out and enjoy different things. And again, a great time to be a beer drinker. It's funny because now you plan trips. At least I do when I plan trips. Where are we going to? Okay, and I pull it up on Google. Like, where's the closest brewery there? And I get to experience different stuff from around the country in different areas. Don't even like Nina sauce. Yeah. At some point, like I said, I still got some whiskey and stuff behind me back here under that Great Lakes sign. I need to drink that. I got some rum and some gin and all of that, but don't want to become an alcoholic, right? You sample things as you go along. That's how guys get all these big basements and cellars and stuff. Now, it's not about just trying to get hammered every night. It's about just enjoying it, enjoying the ride. Little Canadian beef there between Thotto and Gilbert. Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. Nobody likes a hater, right? Just don't drink the 5% ABV Scottish Ale. Why would you make that? The 5% is actually from Slurry Brewery. I mean, you can do a Scottish ale, and 5 is low for what I would expect. Usually a Scottish I would expect around 7 or so, but I guess you can experiment with it. So is it true Trump's been impeached? Yes. Tonight, Trump did get impeached on the 2 votes that took place. So now it'll go to the Senate. And at this point, Throttle is no more than theatrics. It'll go to the Senate. It's not going to get through the Senate. But it'll just be a record on it that he was impeached as the president for both abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. It's probably about as thin as you can get on stuff. I mean, my thing is whether you're for Trump or against Trump, I've always had an issue with one part of the Constitution that I feel like was never really covered as much as it should have been, and that was more the emoluments clause, because I think that's the reason why we don't see Trump's taxes, because we would see money coming in from possible foreign entities, and that could actually lead to obviously some type of bias or something along those lines. And that's why this whole thing's being held up in New York, because the New York thing, they got an appeal where they're not showing the taxes. And based on the Constitution, you cannot take money or gifts from any type of foreign entity. I think there's something maybe along those lines. It's kind of like that's probably the thing that will be the most thing to be impeachable about. I don't think this other stuff's going to go as far, but it's interesting. The West Cork was matured in ex-bourbon and handpicked by Barry Walsh and Fred McHardy. Nice. You should send out a tweet and ask him to be a guest. Hey, yeah. Hey, Prez, will you come on to the Beer Flow show? We want to hear about this whole impeachment thing. Will you be our guest? That's hilarious. I think it'll be a no shot. He doesn't even drink, so right. So, yeah. It's going to be interesting. I would say during sometime tonight or tomorrow morning, you'll probably hear some tweets and stuff that are probably sent out, because that's when he usually sends them, and it could be kind of some crazy stuff there. But he needs more smoke and less sherry cast. Someone's going to come out with an impeached root beer soon. Yeah, there's actually there's been some like impeachment type ales that some breweries have messed around with. We may mention that earlier before you got on, and there was some stuff out there. Yeah, it's going to be something. There was actually like a joke of like Ben and Jerry's had an impeachment ice cream or something. People were saying, but Republican or Democrat, I would definitely say it's kind of a sad. Like they said like we haven't. It's the third president impeached 200 something years or whatever, but really, it's the third president impeached within 50 years when you look at it that way, which is kind of crazy. Because now you're opening the door for other things down the line. So who's to say another president comes in that people don't like for some reason, or the thinnest of things are going to lead to more stuff possibly happening. It's almost kind of a little bit of a scary moment when you think about it. I mean, this is really history breaking right now that something over like this is happening. They have got a few peated releases. Oops, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think I don't know if Pelosi spoke yet or not. She was supposed to speak as well, so says she's going to send articles of impeachment to the Senate now since they voted, and they'll see what happens there. But Mitch and them are going to do too much. Perfect beer. Ask anyone. Well, the one I had tonight was pretty damn good. Tomorrow night, for everybody tuning in, we'll have the malt liquor Beer Flow show. Have no idea how that's going to actually go. If it's like the first one when we did malt liquor, you probably want to tune in if you can. That'll be at 9:15 Eastern. It'll be a crazy fun time. And again, the highlight may be Shannon doing the Mad Dog 2020 grape. So I'm going to go ahead and get signed off here. Just kick back for a little bit, get some other stuff done. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Hopefully you guys checked each other out as well. Always appreciate spending some time here. Appreciate you guys coming in and spending some time with me. Look forward to catching you guys tomorrow. Keep drinking those good craft beers. And remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. So with that being said, cheers everybody. And I will catch you soon.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better come.